Hi everyone, welcome to the California 500. My name is Jeff Johnson. I'm the regatta manager at San Diego Yacht Club, and I wanted to go over a couple of instructions in the sailing instructions that I hope you'll keep in mind as you come down the coast. Item number one are notes about navigation. I'll go over the course in a second, but sailing instruction 9 calls out areas of concern, and these are generally zones around islands that you'll want to keep in mind. Sailing instruction 8 covers our thinking about navigational waypoints. 3 of the waypoints that you'll travel around are buoys. For instance, the ODAS 46047 buoy is a weather buoy that's 100 miles east of San Diego, and that's one of the buoys you'll be going around. But since it's anchored in 5,000 feet of water and has a watch radius of about over half a mile, we've given you an anchor point as a lat long in the sailing instructions, and that is the virtual waypoint that you'll need to navigate around. We make a point that there is a buoy probably in the vicinity of that location, so please watch out for that and make sure you don't run over it while you're navigating to the virtual waypoint. But for instance, the ODAS 46047 is in the vicinity of the lat long that you've been given. And we've done a similar thing for the SD approach buoy and also SD 5 and 6, the channel markers. And those have relatively small watch ranges, but those coordinates are the ones that Yellow Brick has programmed for your tracker to pass between. And that is when your time will be taken by the tracker. I'll cover what we expect you to do in another section here in a second. 2 other points that are not in the sailing instructions. One is there is a zone called Fleet Hot that is a approximately 40 square mile zone south of San Clemente Island. And they had fleet exercises scheduled for this area all of May 31st. Which is Friday. And we have discussed with them that our regatta would be rounding the weather buoy 46047 and proceeding more or less directly to San Diego. And as boats come around 46047, they'll naturally sag down to the south a little bit. And this is for not only yourselves in the 500, but also the 39 boats sailing in the 300. We expect that you guys will kind of come together around that weather buoy and be transiting from 46047 to the coast, to San Diego coast, most of Friday. So the military will be out in that area, but they won't be holding any dangerous exercises, and they've opened the waters in that zone for us. They did request, however, that no unmanned aerial systems or drones be flown by any competitor while they're transiting that area. So we've written a sailing instruction that no drones can be flown specifically between 46047 and your approach to San Diego and 20 miles out. I'm not sure who has drones, but if you have them, make sure they're stowed away and not flying while you're transiting that leg. The military thanks you. To review the course for the 500, you'll be starting in San Francisco Bay, and your start line will be right in front of the St. Francis Yacht Club, and the outer mark out in the bay will be an 8-foot yellow inflatable cone. There are some other yellow balls in that area, but those are not marks of your course. It'll be an inflatable yellow cone, and then also in line with a yellow placard on the race deck, which is the 2nd story of St. Francis Yacht Club. So your start line will be between the placard on the race deck and the yellow cone out in the bay. I believe they will be operating the VHF channel is in the SIs, and I can't find what channel that is at the moment. Anyway, so documentation, real quick, In sailing instruction 11.2, and I mentioned this earlier, the tracker will register when you cross the finish line, the gate between San Diego Channel Buoy 5 and San Diego Channel Buoy 6. That's after you leave SD or SD1 to port and then sail up and cross between 5 and 6. The tracker will ping that time. We've had really good luck with this in our Puerto Vallarta races, doing virtual finishes in Mexico, and also our Islands race for 2 years prior to this. So we have pretty good faith in the fidelity of the trackers to accurately record your position. But in the event that it does make a mistake, we ask you to record your time that you're passing waypoints like the Farallones Island and the weather buoy, and then also record your finish time with a picture preferably of your latitude, longitude, and the local time, Pacific time, on the same screen with a camera phone or a camera of some sort. Be aware that you don't obscure that picture with your flash if you're doing it at night. With that photograph, maybe you can also write down on paper or in an email, and the sailing instructions talk about sending all that to us in 15.2. And 15.3 covers if there's a discrepancy in the time that you record versus the time that the tracker records. There's a process for that, and that's described in 15.3. Lastly, in sailing instruction 4.2, it talks about where and how to return the tracker, preferably here at San Diego Yacht Club, or if for some reason you're not finishing here at San Diego Yacht Club, make arrangements to mail it to us and let us know as soon as possible how and when that's going to arrive. The award ceremony are currently scheduled for Saturday afternoon in the San Diego Yacht Club Frost Room, which is the second story of the sailing building. And we think it'll be probably 4 o'clock. We're going to watch the progress of the race, and we'll be sending emails to the email that you registered with if it's any different from that. And lastly, if you have an emergency on board, of course, work with your own resources to manage the emergency. And if you need to, of course, work with any first responders, the Coast Guard, to coordinate any outside assistance that you need. And if you would please send the race committee or the organizing authority an email as best you can, or a satellite phone call, and leave a message with any updates or directions you might have for the OA if we need to contact people ashore or what have you. And lastly, this is the first time we've done this. I hope that you guys have fun, and maybe if this all goes well, we'll have an expanded version of this the next time we run the CA500, and maybe we can get some more people to sail down from San Francisco. Thank you very much. Be safe.